The hustle and the constant hum of commerce filled the air of the interstellar trade station, a sprawling mass of metal and neon that floated on the edge of the galaxy. It was here that traders from across the cosmos gathered, exchanging goods from worlds unknown to each other. Nathan Miller, a seasoned human trader, navigated the crowded docks with a practiced ease, his eyes scanning the stalls for his next great find. The station was a labyrinth of cultures and technologies, a place where one could procure everything from Martian ice crystals to Saturnian ring fragments. As Nathan examined a collection of rare minerals from a distant asteroid belt, a sudden commotion nearby caught his attention. Turning towards the noise, he saw a small crowd gathered around a slender figure, clearly not human, with vibrant blue skin and luminescent eyes. The alien, a female, seemed to be in a heated argument with station security. Curious and ever the peacemaker, Nathan approached the scene. "Is there a problem here?" he asked, addressing both the security team and the alien. The alien, whose name tag declared her as Zara from the planet Zarathustra, looked visibly upset but managed to speak in clear Galactic standard. "They accuse me of stealing this," she explained, holding up a small, shimmering device. "But I have just purchased it." The head of the security team, a burly figure named Gorak, snorted. "And where's your proof of purchase, eh? These gadgets aren't cheap, and you look too out of place to afford it." Nathan stepped closer, examining the device. "These are common where she's from," he interjected. "Look, it's a standard Zarathustrian translator. Probably just bought it to better communicate here." Gorak looked skeptical, but Nathan continued, "Why don't you let her prove herself? Zara, do you have a receipt or something to show?" Zara's luminous eyes brightened as she quickly tapped on the device, pulling up a digital receipt that flickered into view above the gadget. "Here, I paid with universal credits through the Galactic trade app." Gorak, now mollified, grunted an apology and dispersed the crowd, leaving Nathan and Zara alone amidst the thinning cluster of onlookers. "Thank you," Zara said, her voice melodic and tinged with relief. "I am here to learn about human culture and trading." "I didn't expect such a welcome," Nathan chuckled, scratching the back of his head. "Yeah, sorry about that. Gorak can be a bit overzealous." "I'm Nathan, by the way." "Nathan Miller. Pleased to meet you, Nathan." "I am Zara," she replied, her gaze taking in the vast array of goods around them. "Perhaps, could you show me around? I am quite new to human stations." "Of course, I'd be glad to. It's not every day I get to show someone the ropes," Nathan said with a grin. As they walked through the bustling alleys of the station, Nathan pointed out various human technological marvels and oddities, explaining their uses and origins. Zara listened intently, her fascination apparent. She shared bits about her own world, her stories filled with strange creatures and exotic landscapes. Their conversation flowed easily, the initial awkwardness melting away as they exchanged tales and insights. Nathan found Zara's perspective refreshing. Her curiosity and keen intellect were a rare find. "I must admit, this place is overwhelming, but having someone familiar with these intricacies is very helpful," Zara admitted as they paused in front of a stall displaying antique Earth artifacts. "It's a lot to take in, but you'll get the hang of it," Nathan assured her. "Stick with me, and I'll make sure you get the best deals. And no more run-ins with station security." Zara laughed, a sound as clear as the ringing of a crystal bell. "I would appreciate that greatly, Nathan." As the station's artificial day cycle began to dim, signaling the end of trading hours, Nathan and Zara found themselves at a small cafe overlooking the docking bays. Ships from countless worlds came and went, each a silent testament to the vast, interconnected galaxy they shared. "I think this is the beginning of a fascinating friendship," Nathan said, raising his glass in a toast. "To new friends and new adventures," Zara replied, her smile illuminating her face. As the stars outside began to twinkle against the backdrop of deep space, Nathan felt a surge of anticipation for what the future might hold. With Zara at his side, the galaxy seemed filled with endless possibilities. Nathan's ship, the Starbound Wanderer, hummed softly as it orbited the trade station. The interior was cozy, filled with trinkets and artifacts from 100 worlds, each telling a story of past voyages and encounters. Zara floated gently through the cabin, her alien grace evident in each movement. She was mesmerized by the eclectic decor, her fingers tracing the outlines of an ancient Martian vase. "You've gathered quite the collection," she remarked, her tone one of genuine admiration. Nathan laughed, watching her from the pilot's seat. "Each piece has a story. Maybe I'll tell you about them sometime. But first, how about you tell me more about Zarathustra? I'm curious about your home." Sitting down across from him, Zara nodded eagerly. "Zarathustra is very different from here. Our cities are built into the living rock of the mountains, and our technology is designed to blend with nature, not override it." As she described her world, the door to the cockpit slid open, and another human stepped in. He was slightly taller than Nathan, with a rugged build and a friendly smile. "Hope I'm not interrupting," he said, extending his hand to Zara. "I'm Liam, Nathan's co-pilot and old friend." Zara shook his hand. A gesture she had learned was a common human greeting. "Pleased to meet you, Liam. I was just sharing a bit about my planet." Liam sat down, intrigued. "I've heard that Zarathustrans have some unique customs. What's one that might surprise us?" "One interesting tradition is our Festival of Lights," Zara explained. "It's when the bioluminescent plants of our world are at their brightest, and we celebrate by exchanging stories and songs that illuminate our personal journeys over the past year." "Fascinating," Liam murmured, clearly captivated. Nathan, seizing an opportunity, suggested, "Why don't we show Zara some of our traditions? Maybe start with something simple, like a game or a human festival experience." "Great idea," Liam agreed. "Ever played chess, Zara? It's an ancient Earth game. Strategy and skill, quite the mental challenge." "I have not, but I would like to learn," Zara said, her eyes lighting up at the challenge. Nathan retrieved an old wooden chess set from a shelf and set it up on a small table. He began explaining the rules, demonstrating how each piece moved. Zara absorbed every word, her mind quickly grasping the concepts. As they played, Nathan and Liam alternated turns, giving Zara advice on strategy and tactics. The game was friendly but competitive, laughter mingling with more serious moments of concentration. After the game, which Zara lost but only narrowly, Liam suggested they prepare a meal together, another human tradition. "How about we make dinner together?" Cooking is a big part of human culture. In the small galley, Liam showed Zara how to prepare a simple meal, pasta with a sauce made from ingredients gathered across the galaxy. Zara was fascinated by the process, especially by the different spices and flavors. As they ate, the conversation turned to music, another universal human trait. Nathan pulled up recordings from classical Earth composers to contemporary interstellar hits. Zara shared some Zarathustrian music in return, the melodies strange but beautiful, filled with chimes and harmonies that seemed to echo the natural sounds of her world. The evening wound down with more stories exchanged, laughter shared, and plans made for future lessons and experiences. Zara felt a warmth towards her human friends, a sense of belonging that she hadn't expected to find so far from her own kind. Before they retired for the night, Nathan proposed a toast. "To new experiences and new understandings," he said, lifting his glass. "To friendship, across stars and cultures," Zara added, her smile as bright as any star in the galaxy. As she settled into her quarters, the gentle hum of the ship a comforting background noise, Zara felt a profound sense of peace. The starbound wanderer was far from Zarathustra, yet it was becoming a home away from home, a place where she could bridge two very different worlds. The following morning, the starbound wanderer drifted lazily through space, its destination a bustling interplanetary hub known for its vibrant marketplaces and diverse clientele. Nathan and Liam were at the helm, discussing the day's trade prospects, while Zara listened intently, eager to understand more about human business practices. "You see, Zara, trading isn't just about exchanging goods," Nathan explained, pointing to a display of various trade routes on the screen. "It's about understanding the needs and wants of different cultures, finding a balance where both parties feel they've gained something of value." Zara nodded thoughtfully. "On Zarathustra, trade is less about goods and more about ideas and cultural exchanges. It's fascinating to see the differences." Liam chimed in, "Speaking of cultural exchanges, you should try some real-time bartering today." It'll give you a hands-on feel for the process. As they prepared to dock, Zara's excitement was palpable. The market was a cacophony of colors and sounds, with traders from dozens of worlds hawking their wares. Nathan guided her through the stalls, pointing out particularly savvy traders and explaining their tactics. During their walk, they passed a stall featuring traditional Earth sports equipment. Nathan picked up a small, colorful object. "This," he said, showing it to Zara, "is a paddle ball. It's a toy, really. You hit the ball attached to the string and see how many times you can keep it going." Zara laughed, intrigued by the simplicity of the game. "May I try?" "Of course," Nathan replied, handing her the toy. Zara attempted to play, her first few tries clumsy but gradually improving. Amused by her determination, Nathan joked, "You're getting the hang of it. Just don't get too carried away, or you'll need to ask me to slap you with your toy to snap you out of it." Zara stopped, her expression puzzled. "Slap me with your toy? Is that a human expression?" Nathan realized his jest might not translate well. "Oh, it's just a silly phrase we use sometimes. Means nothing really, just a way to say, don't get too obsessed with it." Zara's laughter rang out, clear and melodic. "I see. I will be careful then not to ask you to slap me with my toy." She grinned, appreciating the humor and misunderstanding. Their light-hearted banter continued as they explored the market. Zara was quick to learn the basics of bartering, her natural charm and earnestness endearing her to the other traders. Nathan and Liam watched proudly as she made her first independent trade, a set of handcrafted Zarathustrian fabrics for some rare spices from a distant world. As the day progressed, the trio found a quiet cafe nestled among the market's noisier sections. They sat, each with a steaming cup of local brew, reflecting on the day. "You did great out there," Liam said, sipping his drink. "You're a natural at this." Zara smiled, pleased. "I had good teachers. The day was full of lessons." Nathan raised his cup. "Here's to many more days like this." "Indeed," Zara agreed. "And perhaps tomorrow, you can teach me more human phrases, so I do not end up asking to be slapped with a toy again." They all laughed, the sound mingling with the ambient noises of the market. The day's events had not only taught Zara about human trading, but had also deepened their friendship, weaving their different cultures together through shared experiences and a few humorous misunderstandings. As the market began to wind down, the stars outside growing brighter against the darkening sky, they made their way back to the ship, ready for whatever the next day might bring. The starbound wanderer hummed gently as it left the bustling market behind, setting course for a less frequented sector where Nathan planned to show Zara the quieter side of space travel. As the stars streaked past the viewport, the mood inside the ship was light and jovial after their successful day at the market. Liam leaned against the frame of the common room doorway, watching Nathan and Zara set up for a movie night. An Earth tradition Nathan was eager to share. "You're in for a treat," Liam said to Zara, his eyes twinkling with anticipation. "Movie night is a sacred tradition among us humans. It's all about relaxation and good company." Zara, curious and excited, settled into one of the plush seats. "What is this movie about?" she asked, looking at the screen that now displayed the title, Cosmic Voyage. "It's a classic," Nathan explained as he dimmed the lights. "About exploration and understanding, very fitting for us." He pressed play, and the room filled with the opening score, deep and resonant. As the movie unfolded, Zara was captivated by the vivid imagery and emotional storyline. She was particularly moved by the characters' journey through different galaxies, each with its own unique challenges and cultures. During a particularly dramatic scene, Zara leaned over to Nathan. "Is this a true representation of human exploration? The unity in conflict?" Nathan nodded thoughtfully. "It's exaggerated, but based on our history. Humans have always been explorers at heart, and with that comes both conflict and camaraderie." The movie provided a springboard for deeper discussion about human nature and space exploration. Liam shared stories of his first travels through space, and Nathan talked about the various people he'd met along his trading routes. After the movie, the trio shifted the night into a more interactive gear. "How about a game of charades?" Liam suggested, eager to keep the good times rolling. Zara was unfamiliar with the game, but after a quick rundown of the rules, she was game. The next hour was filled with laughter as each tried to act out different book titles, movies, and even abstract concepts. Zara's attempts were particularly amusing, given her still developing understanding of human culture. Nathan's turn came, and he struck a pose, standing stiffly with his arms outstretched. Zara guessed wildly. A tree? A solar panel? Oh, the Statue of Liberty. Liam doubled over laughing as Nathan shook his head, still maintaining his pose. No, it's a famous spaceship from an old sci-fi series. The evening ended with them sprawled across the lounge, sharing stories and snacks. Nathan noticed Zara seemed pensive, her gaze lost in the stars outside the viewport. You okay? He asked gently. Zara smiled softly. Yes, just thinking about how small one feels amid such vastness. Yet, tonight made it feel like the universe isn't so big after all. That's the beauty of it, Liam added. No matter where you go, there's the potential for connection. Space doesn't have to be lonely. Nathan nodded in agreement, feeling a sense of contentment. Well, we're glad you're here with us, Zara. Makes the galaxy seem a bit more friendly. As they cleaned up, the bond that had formed between them was palpable. Zara was more than just a guest now. She was part of their little spacefaring family. As they headed to their respective quarters for the night, the simple acts of watching a movie and playing charades had transformed their ship into a home, a place of warmth and laughter amidst the cold vastness of space. The next morning brought with it a gentle tranquility as the star-bound wanderer continued its steady sail through the cosmos. After the previous night's shared laughter and stories, a deeper bond had clearly formed between Nathan, Liam, and Zara. Today, they had planned a lesson in human emotional expression, particularly through art and music, realms in which humans deeply invested their feelings. As Zara entered the common room, she found Nathan setting up what appeared to be a small, makeshift studio with various musical instruments and art supplies laid out. Liam was tuning a guitar, occasionally plucking the strings to check the sound. Good morning, Zara. Ready to dive into some human culture? Nathan greeted her with a warm smile. Zara approached the instruments with a look of curiosity. I am eager to learn. In Zarathustra, music and art are considered windows to the soul. Liam handed her a simple percussion instrument, a tambourine. Here, let's start with something straightforward. Music is about feeling the rhythm and letting it flow through you. Nathan picked up a keyboard and began to play a soft, melodious tune. Liam joined in with the guitar, and after a few moments of hesitation, Zara began tapping the tambourine. The music was simple, yet the harmony they created was beautiful. Feeling more confident, Zara asked, "Could I try one of those?" Pointing to a small set of drums. Of course, Liam said, switching places with her. He showed her a basic rhythm pattern. As Zara mimicked the actions, her initial stiff movements soon smoothed into a more fluid motion. As the session continued, Nathan suggested, let's add another layer to this. How about we try expressing these feelings through art? They moved to the art supplies where canvases were set up. Nathan distributed brushes and paints. Let's paint what we feel from the music. Don't think too much. Just let your emotions guide your hand. Zara, though initially puzzled by the concept, soon found herself engrossed. Her canvas began to fill with vibrant colors, sweeping blues and gentle greens that mimicked the calm and soothing music they had played. Liam looked over, impressed. You've got a natural knack for this, Zara. Seems you're quite the artist. Nathan added his own touches to a canvas, his strokes bold and expressive. It's about connecting with something inside you, letting it out in a form others can see and feel. As they painted, they discussed the emotions evoked by the music, each sharing personal stories and feelings that the tunes unearthed. This exchange not only deepened their understanding of each other, but also highlighted the universal nature of certain emotions. After cleaning up, they gathered around to view each other's paintings, each piece a different interpretation of the music and the conversation. Zara's painting was a swirl of colors that depicted a sense of adventure and discovery. You've captured something really special here, Liam commented, genuinely touched by her work. Zara smiled, a bit shyly. I have never expressed myself this way before. It's very liberating. Nathan nodded in agreement. Sometimes, It's these simple acts of creation that bring us closer together, breaking down barriers between worlds and species. The day had been an enlightening experience for all, with each learning not just about cultural expressions of emotion, but also about each other's inner worlds. As they turned in for the night, the starbound wanderer felt even more like a home, a place where different beings could share and celebrate their uniqueness without reservation. The starbound wanderer arrived at the vibrant festival planet, Astrales 4, known across the galaxy for its annual celebration of cultures. The planet's lush, sprawling landscapes were transformed for the event, filled with lights, music, and stalls from countless worlds showcasing their unique traditions. Nathan and Liam watched Zara's expression as they disembarked from the ship. Her eyes were wide with wonder as she took in the sights and sounds of the festival grounds, surrounded by beings of all shapes and sizes. "It's incredible," she murmured, her gaze drifting over the colorful tints and bustling crowds. "Wait until you see it up close," Nathan said, smiling. "There's nothing like it in the galaxy. This place celebrates the unity of so many different worlds without words, just food, art, music, and dance." Liam chuckled, nudging Nathan. "Let's get started with the food part, shall we? Nothing like a bit of festival cuisine to kick things off." They made their way through the various food stalls, each one featuring unique dishes with exotic aromas that filled the air. Zara was particularly taken by a booth offering spicy, sizzling dishes from a desert planet. She sampled a fiery red dish and winced as the heat hit her taste buds. "Spicy, huh?" Nathan laughed, watching her reaction. "It's like my mouth is on fire," Zara managed, laughing as she fanned her face. "Try this," Liam said, handing her a small fruit that looked similar to an earth melon. "This will cool it down." Zara took a cautious bite, relief washing over her face as the sweetness balanced the spice. "Much better. Thank you, Liam." After they had their fill of food, they wandered toward the music area, where musicians from various planets performed for the festival goers. The sounds of unfamiliar instruments filled the air, merging together in a beautiful, chaotic harmony. Liam tapped Zara on the shoulder, grinning. "Ready to dance?" Zara's eyes widened slightly. "Dance? I don't know how humans do it." "Don't worry," Nathan assured her, holding out his hand. "It's not about perfection. It's about letting go and having fun." Tentatively, Zara took his hand, and Liam joined in as they moved toward the impromptu dance floor. The music was lively and upbeat, and soon they found themselves swaying to the rhythm. Zara's movements were hesitant at first, but with Nathan and Liam guiding her, she began to relax, matching their steps and even laughing as she stumbled through the motions. "See," Nathan said, smiling at her. "You're a natural." Zara looked around, noticing other festival goers of various species dancing without a care, each in their unique style. She took a deep breath, allowing herself to move freely, no longer self-conscious. As the night deepened, the festival grounds began to glow with bioluminescent decorations strung between the trees, creating an ethereal atmosphere. They decided to explore the art installations scattered around the festival, each representing the creative expression of a different species. One exhibit caught Zara's attention, a sprawling sculpture made from delicate crystals that shimmered under the bioluminescent lights. The crystals vibrated gently, producing a faint, musical hum. "It's beautiful," Zara whispered, entranced. Liam nodded, admiring the sculpture. "This piece is from the Araxi, a species that communicates through vibration and sound. They create these installations to share their language with others." As they moved from one exhibit to the next, Zara's appreciation for the diversity of the galaxy grew. She realized that there was so much to learn and experience, each culture adding its own colors to the grand tapestry of existence. Later, they found a quieter area of the festival grounds where a small crowd had gathered to tell stories. One by one, individuals from various worlds took turns sharing tales from their planets, each story capturing the audience's attention with its unique flavor. Nathan nudged Zara, whispering, "Why don't you tell a story from Zarathustra?" Zara hesitated, feeling the pressure of the audience's gaze, but with a reassuring smile from Nathan, she stepped forward. She began to tell a tale from her planet, a fable about the first explorers who ventured beyond Zarathustra's skies, searching for knowledge and connection with other worlds. Her voice was soft but captivating, and the crowd listened intently. When she finished, a hush settled over the group, followed by murmurs of admiration. "That was incredible," Liam said, clapping quietly as she rejoined them. "You've got a gift for storytelling, Zara." She smiled, touched by the compliment. "Thank you. It feels good to share a piece of my world here, with so many others." As the festival began to wind down, they made their way back to the ship, the distant sounds of music and laughter still echoing behind them. Nathan paused at the top of the boarding ramp, turning to look at the festival grounds one last time. "This was something special," he said softly. "We've seen a lot in our travels, but nothing quite like this." Zara nodded, her gaze distant as she reflected on the experiences of the day. "It's as if the galaxy itself was brought together in one place. Each moment today reminded me of how vast and wonderful existence can be." Liam grinned, patting her on the back. "Well, glad you enjoyed it, Zara. And remember, there's a lot more of the galaxy waiting to be explored." With that, they boarded the starbound wanderer, carrying the memories of the festival with them, a reminder of the beauty of diversity and the strength of the bonds they were forming. As they left Astrales 4 behind, each of them felt a little more connected to the stars and to each other, ready for whatever adventures awaited them in the vast universe ahead. The starbound wanderer drifted through quiet space after leaving Astrales 4, the glow of the festival planet fading into the distance. Inside, the ship was calm, a stark contrast to the lively atmosphere they had just experienced. Nathan, Liam, and Zara sat together in the common area, a comfortable silence surrounding them. Liam leaned back, stretching. That festival was something else. "Hard to believe we're back to the regular old routine now." Zara nodded, her expression thoughtful. "It was eye-opening, seeing so many species, so many different ways of life gathered in one place. It made me wonder about my own path." Nathan tilted his head, studying her. "Your own path? What do you mean?" She hesitated, gathering her thoughts. "I came here to understand humans, to experience what life is like beyond Zarathustra. But after all I've seen and felt, I wonder if it's enough to just visit. Maybe there's more I should do." Liam raised an eyebrow. "You're talking about staying? Like, really staying long-term?" Zara looked at him, her luminescent eyes reflecting a flicker of uncertainty. "Maybe, but it's complicated. On Zarathustra, I have duties, expectations to return and share what I've learned. Yet, I feel connected here, with both of you. It's confusing." Nathan nodded slowly. "I get it. You're torn between two worlds. But here's the thing, Zara. You don't have to decide everything right now. Sometimes the answer comes just by living it." She gave a faint smile. "That's wise advice. Still, I can't ignore the feeling that leaving would mean saying goodbye to something truly special." Liam looked at Nathan, then back at Zara, his tone serious but gentle. "You're part of this crew now. Whether you stay or go, you've made a mark here, and that's not something that fades away. We'd hate to see you leave, but whatever you choose, you'll always have a place here." Nathan put a hand on her shoulder. "Liam's right. You belong with us, Zara. But whatever choice you make, it has to be your own." They sat in silence for a moment, letting the weight of the conversation settle. Zara took a deep breath, her expression a mix of resolve and hesitation. "Thank you," she said quietly, "both of you, for making me feel at home here. I didn't realize how much that would mean to me." Nathan squeezed her shoulder. "You've given us just as much, Zara. Whatever comes next, we'll face it together." They stayed there a while longer, three beings from different worlds, bound together by shared experiences and a friendship that transcended species. Whatever Zara chose, they knew the connection they shared would remain, an unspoken bond forged in the quiet of space. The starbound wanderer approached the familiar silhouette of the interstellar trade station where Nathan and Zara had first met. The docking lights blinked in the distance, guiding them in. Nathan and Liam busied themselves with the docking procedure, while Zara stood nearby, quiet and reflective. "So, this is it?" Liam asked, breaking the silence as he finished his part of the landing checks. Zara nodded, her gaze distant. It seems so. I've decided to return to Zarathustra, at least for now. My people expect me to share what I've learned. Nathan stepped closer, his expression unreadable. Are you sure that's what you want, Zara? She hesitated, then looked at him with a soft smile. I am. At least, for the time being. I need to go back, to understand my own world better before I can truly decide if I belong elsewhere. Liam leaned against the control panel, crossing his arms. We're going to miss you, you know. It's going to feel emptier around here without you stumbling over human idioms and mispronouncing ship terms. Zara laughed, a musical sound that filled the cabin. I'll miss you both too. More than I can say. She glanced around the ship, her fingers brushing lightly over the familiar surfaces. This has become a home to me. A different kind of home than Zarathustra, but just as important. The ship's landing complete, they gathered at the hatch. Nathan looked at Zara, his voice low. If you ever want to come back, if you ever feel like you want to explore again, we'll be here. You've got a place with us. Always. She placed a hand on his arm, her expression soft. Thank you, Nathan. And thank you, Liam. I may be leaving, but I'm not really saying goodbye. I'll carry what I've learned here, the memories we made, wherever I go. They shared a final, quiet moment, standing side by side as the station's docking ramp extended. Zara turned to face them, her eyes shimmering. Well, Liam said, clearing his throat, if you don't get going, we're liable to keep you here forever. Zara chuckled, stepping toward the ramp, but she paused and looked back at them, her gaze filled with a warmth they both felt. Until we meet again, she said softly. Until then, Nathan replied, his voice steady but carrying the weight of their shared journey. As she walked away, disappearing into the bustling crowd of the station, Nathan and Liam watched in silence. The starbound wanderer felt quieter, emptier without her presence, but both knew that, wherever she went, a part of her would always be with them. Turning back to the ship, Liam nudged Nathan, a faint smile on his face. So, where to next, Captain? Nathan glanced once more toward the station, then gave a nod. Anywhere the stars take us, Liam. Let's keep going. With that, they closed the hatch and prepared for their next journey, knowing that somewhere out there, their paths might cross with Zara's again.